Maurice. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Mike? I was gonna give him a little jig.
Yeah, and I love that intro. I always gets me wound up a little bit. It's just cool. It's hard not to love racquetball. Well, we want to welcome everybody to the Real Racquetball Show, game number 34. Really appreciate you taking time to watch the show. We have some special guests we're going to have on. They're going to talk a little bit about the Women's Senior Masters coming up. And we've got a lot of information about upcoming championships. And if you stick around, we have some USA Racquetball update information on membership, some other odds and ends that we want to talk about, what's happening with USA Racquetball. So, Maurice, how you doing? How are things?
I'm doing fantastic, Mike. I'm trying to get in a little bit of shape. Being a father is the best thing in the world, though. So just lifting her up and down. I'm gonna be real top heavy next time you see me. Legs don't be skinny, but real top heavy.
But it sounds like you got a couple championships or a couple tournaments you're playing in coming up. What are those?
4 in the next 7 weeks.
Wow, nice. Which ones? What are you going to?
So we've got.
Everybody knows what's coming up.
We've got Maryland this weekend. Where I'll be going to Masters. It's Wintergreen Classic.
Wintergreen, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, best tournament. It's one of the best tournaments I've ever gone to. It's held typically Martin Luther King weekend, but obviously COVID times here. Then we've got a Grand Slam IRT the weekend after that. I'm going to play in that too. And then national doubles. And then there's a tournament in February, like the end of February, Capital City Classic.
Fantastic.
So 4. How about you, Mike? Forget me. What's going on with you?
I've just been busy. A lot of things going on with racquetball right now. Things changing. COVID is just freaking out and making all kinds of things happen. So we're just scrambling to kind of keep up with what's changing and shifting.
You hit a court yet? You missed that part.
I've not yet. I've been invited a couple times, and I soon.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take soon.
Yeah,
I'll take soon.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, let's jump in. First topic we always talk about a little bit is the Real Racquetball Champion.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new champion named that we will be introducing on the January 24th show. So mark your calendar. Next show is 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be naming a new racquetball champion. That's always fun. So cool.
Yep.
And if you have everybody, please, if you have nominations, please send them to us. Send them to cshane@usaracquetball.com. Stuart will put his email address on the screen here in a moment. So just send him a nomination, just a short story about what they're doing. It can be anything: junior programs, leagues, someone that's keeping racquetball alive in your area, someone that's fighting COVID with swords and spears or whatever it is, whatever they're doing to help racquetball out. Send us some information. We would love to put them in our database, and hopefully one of them gets selected to be the Real Racquetball Champion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's invite in the Director of National Championships for USA Racquetball, Connor Shane, and let's chat just a little bit. Let's just get this out of the way right off the bat. Welcome, Connor.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Connor?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Fantastic,
doing all right.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
You too, man. I gotta text you. Definitely gotta text you.
All right, let me know.
Hi, bro.
No, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Obviously, it's not in the most lighthearted of times, unfortunately, as many of you saw our announcement. But
we've been real busy today, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been kind of horrible, actually.
Yeah.
Well, but it's it sucks. I mean, it's as you probably saw our press release today, we have to postpone the 2022 national doubles in Tempe, Arizona. So super unfortunate. This event, is one that I was looking forward to, honestly, for the past about a year and a half. It's been 2 years since we've had this event. It was going to be, kind of this comeback and a nice welcome to New Year. That event's been in Tempe for over a decade. And that is just a great facility. Sun Devil Fitness Complex has been fantastic. The people that go to that event count on it year after year, but a lot of the details are in the press release, but for the most part, ASU raised COVID restrictions as of the 5th, I guess it was last Wednesday. Yeah. So we caught wind of it, reached out. Yes, they were confirmed. They were going to apply to our event. We applied for an exception. That exception got denied this morning at about 9:53 a.m. So since then, we've been pretty much running to try and postpone. So fortunately,
it's really difficult. I hope everybody understands just how difficult it is. We spent a couple months, several months working on this tournament. There are a lot of details about it, and it's been a real challenge this year more than some, just because of COVID, trying to find sponsors and restaurant sponsors for hospitality. There's so much work that goes on to this. Awards, and all the awards are ordered, everything's done.
Yeah.
And then as of, like you said, 10 o'clock this morning, roughly, we've been backtracking all of that. How many phone calls have you made today, Connor?
I'd rather not say.
Yeah.
It's been, I get it, because there's both the confusions, right? Because unfortunately it had to happen now. I'm glad it didn't happen the week of the tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, I wish it would have happened, a month and a half ago, when we could have made a good decision in the same area. But it's just now hit that point where both registrations are overlapping, and questions on registrations and hotels and air transportation and ground transportation are all overlapping now with the announcement of it being postponed. So unfortunately, it's kind of a little cluster fire right now. Yeah. But hopefully by the end of next week, I'm pretty confident about the end of next week, we'll have a plan B. Yeah. We've been working on one. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, I've been prepping on this to happen for about a month now. Not that I thought it was going to happen, just that, unfortunately, every event we host in these times has to have a contingency plan. Yeah. So it's unfortunate. We've got some plans in place. We got a few committees to consult. We'll have team qualifying information out, and then we'll look at what the dates are for the event and exactly what it looks like. Yeah,
because it is being postponed. We're not canceling it. We have our full intentions of hosting a national doubles and naming doubles champions in all the divisions.
Right.
So it's unfortunate. And for those that in the link, it talks about and goes to the protocols that they put in place at ASU. But the one that really was the part that blew this up for us was that they were going to require masks all the time for everybody, even on the court while you're playing.
Right.
Well,
like over your nose?
Yeah, completely.
At all times.
Exactly. No. Yeah, and that's the feedback we've gotten from players for the last year and a half, 2 years, has been just that.
Yeah.
That we will not do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and as you all know, the national festival ran into the same issues. We had the same issues last year when COVID was really spiking. We had this was before the Delta variant, and we piled all of our national championships into one qualifying festival in St. Louis. And it was going to be great, but similar things happened. This event's a little bit different, right? We have a little bit of wiggle room, and I had a few conversations with all of our sponsors. We called all sponsors today, all of the hotel partners, and some of them were a little confused, why we're getting hit so hard with it. It's not necessarily the fitness clubs. It is the fact that, we are making decisions off of our community. It has nothing to do with our own, opinions or anything like this, but our community, doesn't want to play with a mask on their face, and it's not safe for a lot of them. This event, national doubles, averages 51 and a half years old. It is part of our masters athletes. It's part of those athletes who've been around in racquetball for decades. Yeah. And it's those kinds of things to say, well, those players are saying, hey, I'd rather wait a couple months, or, I would rather go to a local tournament and do this. So we're making those decisions based off of those responses. All these decisions are data backed. Right. But that was one of the things that, some of the sponsors that support multiple sports didn't quite understand, because some other sports are not canceling, postponing events. They're moving forward with it. But a lot of those sports are either low endurance. They're not high octane sports like racquetball is, and they can play and compete with masks on. That is feasible. Or they, require vaccinations and boosters, which is something that we weren't going to do. Or, they have a community that makes decisions separately, or it's younger. Right. Our community, especially the younger kids, the high school athletes that have done a really good job in 2020 and 2021 competing with masks on. That was how they stayed on the court, and it was awesome. The high school programs that were allowed to do that was incredible. Those kinds of events are feasible. But a national doubles, where we see, Arizona Sun Devil Fitness Complex on ASU campus with those regulations in place, it made it so the event wasn't going to be enjoyable and it wasn't going to be possible. So moving it, several months is the most beneficial option.
And from what we're hearing, that even just 2 weeks ago, we were checking at least once a week with Arizona State to make sure they were good, all's good, so we can get the most information as early as possible. So this isn't kind of a pop-up news for us. We've been working on them and communicating with them for months now about what their restrictions are, and had fully planned when Connor met with them last week was to write our COVID protocol to release this week, so everybody knew several weeks in advance what the protocol was going to be for the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, they were a little bit hesitant to give us any real information, which kind of made us nervous that maybe they're writing something different that we're not going to like. Well, that's what it ended up being. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate that this happened as quickly as it did, and it's the Omicron variant that's causing it.
Yeah.
It's spiking everywhere. I mean, I read an article this morning that the largest hospital in Kansas City, which is the Kansas University Hospital, has over 605 employees out of work right now because of COVID or illness, and they're full at capacity. In their beds are full, and they're asking everybody else that can provide ventilators to please help them out.
Yeah,
we're back to where we were. This was 2 years ago type stuff. So now, but on the other side of that is, and I'm no medical person, so I'm taking only the best information from the best sources. I don't do the social media doctors at all. I listen to United Healthcare and those kind of folks. And their belief is that this is going to take a dive at the end of March, and by mid-February, we should be getting back to where we were before, a few weeks ago at least. So we think it's going to be short-lived. The experts we've listened to think it's going to be short-lived. So it's going to be and we've got our fingers crossed. We've been talking about this for 2 years. All we can do is wait and see. So we're postponing this down the road. We've, like I say, fully believe we're going to put this on and name a national champion in doubles. And same with the team qualify. We've got it. We're going to name a U.S. team.
Yeah. Well, some of the big things. Let's answer one of those questions in the chat. Stuart, you want to throw up Wayne's question? He answered a good question. Wayne Antone. Why can't you guys host the event in a conservative state that doesn't have these regulations? Absolutely great idea. That's part of the options. As of right now, we're going on about 7 hours of total contingency planning.
Right.
And that's on the table. So there's a few options that we're looking at, potentially combining, potentially, moving it to, April, May, June, those kinds of longer months farther down the line. March, somebody in there, Angel Rosa, mentioned don't put in March. I agree. There's a lot of events happening in March. That would be a headache for me as well. I don't plan on doing that. And really, I want to avoid Q1 and even ideally avoid Q2, even though Q2 might be a better option. But farther down the line, like Mike said, the majority of the information that we're tracking right now with the new Omicron variant, the high transmissibility, low impact, is that March should see a decline. But we all mentioned, in the conversations we had yesterday and today, Mike, is that we're not going to make the same mistakes we did during the height of the pandemic by planning, too close so that we potentially run into another issue or another speed bump. So we're going to do our best to make these decisions that we've unfortunately been having to make for 2 years. But all of those things are on the table. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
And then quick jump into George's question. Florida would be great if you could find me courts. We mentioned this.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no courts in Florida. We have one club, the Rishi Racket Club. I'd love to go there. I think they only have 6 or 7 courts. So if you have somewhere that may have 12 or 14, shoot me an email. And if you have somewhere that has 14 courts in Florida, call me personally.
Absolutely. And really, or any other state, we're looking at everywhere. We would, this was planned at ASU because everybody that goes, that's where they want to go. 95% of the people replied back to our survey and said, absolutely keep it there. So, but we've looked at other locations. And we have to find a place that doesn't have those restrictions, but this close to the date to have the event, we can't just take the one we have, move it to another location and pop, it happens. it takes planning, and we've got to work on that. So, which is why we're postponing it. We will find a location that we can host this at, a place that we are confident will stick with what. And ASU has been assuring us all along that we were fine. I mean, this new variant, this new wave is catching everybody. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, it's kind of what we have. It's what we're up against. It's I think a lot of clubs are going to be struggling over the next week or two of how to handle this. So,
yeah. So then, I mean, further than that, obviously, national doubles. I'll have more information about that. All the information necessary should be out by the end of next week, including team qualifying, including location, including dates, and then hotel booking. If I can get that up quick enough and contracts negotiated quick enough, then we'll have all that out by the end of next week. So we're really working hard to try and get this done quick. But moving forward, I do have those dates for the rest of the national championships that are not postponed.
There you go. And also anybody that signed up for doubles, tomorrow we will start working on getting all the refunds taken care of. Don't worry about it. You're not going to lose any money on your entry fees or any of that kind of stuff. So we'll get that done. And when we set the new dates and everything, we will encourage you to sign up, but we're not going to hold the memberships or hold the entries until we've got a date and such set.
Yeah,
I know that'd be the easiest way to do it for us, but we just don't want to hold on to people's money. We're going to refund that right away and get that back to you. So over the next day or two, today was all about letting people know. Tomorrow we'll start that process and start finding a new date and the location, and we'll have that out, as Connor said, in the next week to 2 weeks. We should have that all nailed down. We've got contracts being negotiated already. Like I said, Connor mentioned we've been working on this for a little while, unfortunately, just in case.
Yeah, everything has to have a contingency plan. It's a lot easier to cancel a contingency plan than it is to build one in an hour.
It absolutely is. And I really would not have believed we'd be right where we are now 2 weeks ago.
No. So
everything was heading great. So, but anyway, we appreciate everybody's understanding, and please understand this was really not an easy decision. This was tough. This one was a gut punch. It sucks. So go ahead, Connor, tell us about what's coming up.
Well, yeah, national high schools, also one of my favorite ones to go to. One of the larger ones that we host, the high school teams, facing off against each other is one of my favorites. That energy there is incredible. If you've never had a chance to even just tune in on the stream, it's pretty awesome. So that one's March 2nd through the 6th, and that'll be in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm super excited about that one. The only other chance that I've had a chance to try and plan a St. Louis event was during that festival. So all those relationships that we were leaning on during the festival, I'm really excited to kind of activate some of those now and to really see, this event shine after COVID. Not that we're necessarily after it at this point, but you know what I mean? And then intercollegiates. So this one I'm really excited about as well. That one was one of those, we've met with the council several times to really try and figure out this one. It's going to be at the Tucson Racquet Club. So this is going to be in Tucson, Arizona. We decided not to go with the university as, to try and avoid some of these issues that we're running into right now. So that'll be at Tucson, Arizona, March 23rd through the 27th. And I'm pretty excited about that one. We're going to see, it's a beautiful facility. They've used it for a lot of handball tournaments. They have a great indoor, outdoor facility, great restaurant bar there. So the collegiates for that one, I'm most excited about, I think, for it to be kind of at a new location. It was really fun to go out there and see the site visit and see the club and the hotels and stuff. But that one will be coming up pretty soon before, our national singles.
Yeah. And the neat thing about collegians, we really want to encourage all of the universities, all of the clubs, anybody that's been part of a club or knows that there was a club at your university. If you need help doing fundraising tournaments, it's the way a lot of the clubs will raise money to go to national collegians. Reach out to us. We will pay for your sanctioning, give you a tournament website, set it up for a fundraiser for your team to qualify or to pay their expenses to go to intercollegians. So that one, we really want to make sure we're getting all those colleges back up and going. Try and get the universities back fired up. I know they're struggling, and I keep hearing about the schools and universities going back to online learning, and I'm very concerned, and we are working hard to get as many ways as we can to get the students back on the courts. It seems like every time we get kind of moving in that direction, things back up a little bit. So got a team, want to put together a team, let us know. We'll help you put it together. So we're excited about it. I think it's going to be great to have intercollegiates and get all those folks together. They're just wild and passionate players. So it's a lot of fun.
So that's all I got for you guys. Those are the 3 updates. Again, apologies that the first one was a little more unfortunate, but
yeah. So, all right. Well, appreciate the update and all that good information. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate the time.
Take care.
Thanks for your update, Connor.
See you guys.
There's a couple interesting questions. One of them, Angel, again, about why we don't move high schools anywhere other than St. Louis or Portland. Well, those are by far the biggest 2 groups, and we get some other small spatterings of high schools that come and play. There's a few out of California, and there's a couple in Texas that come up and play in it. But for now, what it does is it saves the largest 2 groups of schools money every other year. So they don't. If we put it in a different location, those 2 schools would have to pay to travel. So it helps the biggest part of the tournament, which they're about half of it. St. Louis is about half, Oregon's another half. So we're not opposed to looking at other schools, and if we can find a place that we think everybody would be glad to go to, we would absolutely love to move that one around, and probably will. I would never say that we're not going to, because I think we probably will, partially once we get out of this. Right now, St. Louis is one of our best locations. It's not university. The clubs are operated by Dan Whitley. The Veta clubs are open and running. So right now we're looking for our safest bet to put a tournament.
So if someone had a suggestion or an idea, what do they do? Who would they reach out to?
About,
like, let's say I had a suggestion about a club, or, hey, Mike, I want you to check out Maurice's racquetball facility. Should they email you, or is there someone else they should reach out to?
Probably you can send it to myself or Connor.
Okay.
Send it to cshane@usaracquetball.com, the same address we had up on the screen a little bit ago. Or give him a call, or call me. You can send to my email. We are really looking for good locations to have tournaments at. So if you have one that really is neat, that it's got a lot of times the big challenge is the number of courts.
That's what I was about to ask. What's the
requirements? If we've got like 3 courts and 2 courts and 3 courts and 4, it means we've got to have people manning all of those places. The players aren't together. It really changes the dynamic of a national championship. It's like a lot of small tournaments going on, where ideally we want a club that has, depending on the tournament, 8 to 12 courts. And there are several of them around. I mean, we can find them. It's just with COVID shutting down some of them right now, we're up against something we can't battle. So it's, if you've got some courts, if you've got a place, boy, we would love to hear about, especially if it's one we've not gone to. Someone recently told us about some courts up in Wisconsin. I believe it was Milwaukee, that I'd never heard of or seen. And I believe they have 10 or 12. Connor, really? I should ask him about it while he was on here. And it was we have a 20 by 40 alliance, which those of you that heard me talk about it, the handball and USA Racquetball and a couple other groups, we all get together once a month and we talk about, the 20 by 40 court we all use, and how do we save them, how do we grow, and how do we unite together and make a bigger voice and a bigger, powerful message. And they were talking about a handball tournament they had up in, I believe it was Milwaukee, and what a nice facility it was. So we're going to check that out and see what happens there. I'd love to find a new location. People, I think when I was traveling more, playing tournaments across the country, I wanted to go somewhere I hadn't gone to a lot. So there's a lot of those type of things. So okay. It's a lot of fun. I know there are places out there especially some of the military bases have a lot of courts. And some of those we have trouble getting communication with or don't even know about. So if it's somewhere you've played, you've been to, you know about, reach out to us. We would love to try a new location, something else. Bailey asked a question, what can you do with 5 courts? Well, we can if we have a secondary location. Again, ideally we love 1 location, but we understand the circumstances we're in. It may take 2. So if there's a club with 5 courts and then there's another one with 5 or 6 nearby, we like them to be close enough that transportation isn't an issue. A lot of participants don't. And if they don't rent a car, then we have to figure out a way to solve for transportation. Renting vans and rent drivers and all that is a huge expense, and it just really is tough. So ideally, Norm mentioned Boca has 12 courts. Whatever club that is, Norm, send us some information about it. Boy, we would love to come to Florida. It's one of the places we get a lot of requests to move a championship to Florida. We do a lot of them on the West Coast. Well, if we can figure out where that is and if they'll work with us, it's always the second part. Having the courts is great, but they've got to work with us. We approached a club not too long ago that wanted like $42,000 to rent their club for a week. We can't do that. So, all right. So we appreciate the information. Anything you have, please send it to us. Someone asked, Chuckles asked, what does it cost USA to run a tournament at a facility that has 15 courts? I'm not sure what you mean to run a tournament. You mean the overall budget or just the facility rental? Chuckles, and define that just a little bit. Let me know what exactly you're asking. Because if you're looking at the overall budget, that really is a broad question. It could be anywhere from $20,000 to $500,000 rental for the facility. There you go. I was hoping that's what you were asking. It varies. If it's one of the larger championships, and if they've got 15 courts available and they're good courts, glass back, something we can stream off of, somewhere $7,000 to $10,000 is not unreasonable. Depending on the location, the local sports commission, if it's a really good, well-run sports commission, they will help offset a lot of that. So we've been to locations that have had fees much higher than that, but the sports commission offsets that. So it doesn't cost us that much. But our budget right now, 7 to 10 is about what we can't go much over that, or we really get killed. All right. Norm's question is US Open still happening? Yes, it is. That's the short answer. Yes, it is. Absolutely. We will have more information out as soon as we got the contract signed. And the reason the contracts aren't signed is the same reason with everything else we're talking about. The venues are all in the depths of COVID right now, and they're nervous to sign an agreement for something down the road when they don't know what's going to happen. We expect that to let up here soon. We're pushing hard, trying to get these deals signed and get it in place so we've got a location, dates, and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be a big change in date. We're not moving into a different time frame at this point. So we are, and trust me, we're working and have been for a long time. It's just, good grief, we just can't seem to get out of this COVID thing.
So Mike.
Yes, sir.
Question. Even though the doubles was canceled or postponed, excuse me.
Postponed, yeah.
We still gonna do our trivia question?
We are. Good,
right.
Good way to lead. Trivia question. Who won the most U.S. team qualifying doubles? And this is for a USA Racquetball hat. And I think before I finish asking the question, let's talk about one of the winners so everybody can see the hat that they're going to win. We had a winner. That was a show. I don't know if he was the last winner or not, but Raymond Bierner, I believe that's how he pronounces his name. Raymond, if that's not correct, let me know. Raymond Bierner won the hat and posted a photo of the hat he won. And I believe, I'm not sure if this was the one we sent to Canada or not, but it looks good on there. Raymond, looks nice. Good hat.
Nice hat.
Good
Nice
hat.
picture.
Yeah, fits good. Well, it's a good fit hat. Okay, so the question: who won the most U.S. team qualifying doubles titles, male or female? And it's individual, not team. But what individual with multiple team partners has won the most U.S. team qualifying doubles titles, either male or female, in USA Racquetball's history? And I was somewhat surprised. It wasn't who I thought it was going to be. And we even had it, I had it typed in my notes and had to change it once we figured out who this individual was. George, absolutely great guess. That was the name I had typed into my notes, but that is not correct. I learned today when we were double checking it. So anybody that knows who has won, male or female, the most U.S. titles at national doubles, and it's in the doubles division, but it's a person. All right. Well, Stuart in the background is going to keep an eye on that. Make sure we get the first person to put that up. George, another great guess. That would have been another one to try, but nope, not it. Nope, it's not Rocky. It's not Charlie. Maurice, would you have gotten that? Would you have guessed that correct?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't have either. Although once I heard the name, I knew that, wow, that person's played for.
I'd say once y'all told me that, I was like, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Because you would have to play a lot of them to win that many. Nope, not Sudsy either. I'm sure Sudsy's won a lot. I don't know. I'd have to look up and see how many he's won, but I'm sure he's got several of them under his belt. Same with Rocky. Rhonda certainly has a lot of them. Okay, well, we're going to let this go for a little bit. We're going to invite in our two guests. We're going to talk about the Women's Senior Masters coming up. It's like next weekend. But let's invite in Cindy Tilbury and Lynn Fonseca.
Hello.
Lynn,
Hey.
Cindy, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So tell us what your role is with the Women's Senior Masters. Cindy, I'll let you start.
Okay, I'm actually running all the tournament and plan to do the desk and all that, set up the doubles, everything. And I'm the official tournament director, so I put everything together. And then I definitely needed, since I don't live in Atlanta, I needed big help locally. And so I asked Lynn to help me, and she agreed to volunteer. And I really appreciate everything that you do. Why don't you tell them what you've done for us, Lynn?
Well, I'm just the feet on the ground. You're the brains behind it. No, I just want to see a tournament, back in the state of Georgia again, with women. So that's what I'm here. So I'm really just I'm just the helpful person here in local Georgia. So
yeah.
Well, you arrange the food and the special trophies and help with the jackets and stuff. But okay, so a little bit about our tournament. It's been going on for 32 years. Actually, we had to skip last year, so this is the 32nd time. And it's for women 35 and older. So not all women. We like to have the older women play. And of course, we get some 80s. And I don't think we've ever had 90s, but so 35 to 90s. And we this year we moved the tournament around the country many times. So back in the days when there were more and more courts that we could go to, we have moved around. Every year we take a group photo, and I thought the one with the purple jackets was one of our best photos. It was a great group.
Where that was?
I was in Canoga Park, Los Angeles, California. That was a couple years ago. Last year we were in St. Louis, or we had to skip last year, but then St. Louis before that. So we are excited to come to Atlanta, and it's all round robin, self-refereed racquetball.
Okay.
And we're going to play a match. There'll be 2 games to 11, and we'll have 5-year increments for our ladies, and there are some B, C divisions. So even if you're not a top open level player, there's a division for you. And this year we do some fundraising, but special things about this tournament is we have a Saturday night banquet. You don't get that for every local tournament. And we're going to have a DJ who is our racquetball player named Lou George. And he's going to spin some tunes for us that we're going to dance after the program and dinner. And our ladies just love to dance. So it's kind of fun. I hope anybody that's in Atlanta will come out and dance with us, and hang out. We'd love to see that. Lynn, you want to tell them about the fundraisers we're going to do? We have a couple special ones this time. We don't always do this, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give a little shout out to Tara Barrero, who used to run the Hope tournament. And the Hope has not been because of COVID, but it was actually modeled after the WSMRA events because you have all these women playing and getting a lot of racquetball time, which is why I love this tournament. But it is all women. So Thursday, to appease our male Georgia racquetball players, we're doing a fun mixed doubles fundraiser. And we've done it at the Hope many times. And what we do, I know you're missing it, Maurice. Sorry.
I know,
I was saying, I was thinking the same thing.
In Maryland. But what we do is we take women and then men, and we take all the women, and it's a random drawing for the mixed double partnerships. Mm-hmm. And then it's just fun, and it's fun. And we try to do fast and furious racquetball because we only have 2 hours and 7 courts. And we played, just one game to 11. Anyway, it's super fun. Mm-hmm. It's probably racquetball at its best in 2022 anyway. And so, it should be fun. And we're raising money for the usual charity here, local charity that we help out during the Hope events. It's the Georgia Breast Cancer Coalition. Mm-hmm. So, the money stays here in Georgia to help women who are battling that disease. So, we're super excited. I am not playing, actually, my probably first time ever, but I know. I need to save up my mold now. I gotta like conserve energy for singles and doubles in the same event.
You're playing the tournament, just not the mix.
Oh yeah, not that. No, I'm not. I'm playing the tournament, so I have to save. This is just fun. Yeah.
But I could have brought on an outfit this year. Like, what's going on?
I thought you were going to be there. Sorry.
Well, and Maurice, you have an offer for a partner. Did you see that?
I did. I wasn't looking. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right.
An offer for a partner.
Nice.
Oh man.
Dang.
That's been great.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a silent auction too. We've got a couple fundraisers going. We've got a silent auction too, and anybody's welcome to enter and buy a bid and enter items into that too. But that'll be a racquetball charity specifically.
But
we're excited.
For me, regardless if it was the Hope event or this event, if I was in town, I'm absolutely showing up. Just the fact that women's racquetball gets to be played and it's all about women. Whether I play in the mixed or not, I do because I'm going to support. Right, I want to show it's just fun. If I get the best player, great. If I get the worst player, great. It's racquetball at the end of the day. And if anybody's in Georgia, I can't be there. But if anybody's in Georgia, or is registration still open or is it closed?
Oh, question. We could fit in a few more ladies, but we it's pretty much set. So it's not like it's not like we're waiting for more ladies. But if there's somebody that wants to get in, they can contact me. Do you want me to tell my phone number?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
303-888-4461. It's cindy.tilbury@att.net too. And we're on R2, so you could kind of find us.
But it's happening like Thursday. Yeah. You're like leaving
Thursday.
It's this week.
This week.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'd have to take off Friday if you work.
So any ladies, if you're watching, please, if you're able to come out, please join in. It is, if it's Mount After Hope, because all I knew was a Hope. Fantastic event. One of the best events that I can't play in. So I'm going to keep going because I can experience a little bit of fun. Obviously, I've seen Cindy run tournaments. It's fantastic. I've known Miss Fonseca for, a lot of my lifetime. She's a second mom to me for sure.
I'm old enough to be your mother. That's probably shouldn't say that live.
Did I tell them how long we've known each other? It's been a while.
Go ahead.
20 years. 20 years in March.
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm only 20.
So she was babysitting you when she was 10, right?
Yeah, she played against Nick, my first ever tournament.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my first ever tournament. So, but anyway, any ladies coming out, please come out and support. I promise you'll have a blast.
Great. Well,
Please.
one other little note, Kendra Tooch from Wisconsin is the driving force behind this organization. She started it in 1990 in Wisconsin and has been making sure that it happens every year since then. And so
That is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Our sponsor, Penn Racquetball's Fran Davis, and of course Jason at Recreation ATL. We're all excited.
Yeah. That's great, and I can attest. We hosted the event in Overland Park in Kansas City, and I tell you, of the 100+ tournaments I ran at that club, that one stands out as one of my favorites. It truly was. The ladies were all great. They were fun. It was
a good group.
It was just so much fun. It was. And the party Saturday night, we had a small live band playing, and they danced and
that was nice.
Just had a great time. It was a lot of fun, both to host. So if you're looking at clubs to host it, if anybody works at a club and is at a club, this is one you want to do. Mm-hmm. It really is fun. It's just so much good stuff.
I know you said that we were, yes, we'd love to look at other facilities, go someplace new, but traditionally, when it's been on the East Coast, the next year it has to go either West Coast or Midwest.
Yeah.
And I've missed most of the Midwest ones for whatever reasons, but the part of the fun at the banquet is there's a big reveal as to where next year's event is.
Right.
So, spoiler, can't even
do that. Okay.
Sorry. You're gonna have to come to Sonesta to the banquet night just for the reveal. So
there you go. Well, and I don't know if you guys know, the trivia question still has not been answered correctly yet.
Come on, guys.
So if I'll give you a hint of who won the most U.S. team qualifying doubles titles, male or female. It is a female.
As it should be.
It is a female.
It is, since we're talking about the women's test. A woman won, and it's not Amy. When I typed up my notes, I put Amy and Rhonda because I thought they were tied at 12 championships apiece. And I believe they are. This person has more than that in it. So think about who's played a lot of national doubles. Do you two have a guess, or would you have any idea who this might be?
I do, but I won't guess. I will just see if I'm right.
Okay. All right. It's just I would not have guessed until they told me the name, and then I went, well, yeah. And she's played 100 of them. Mm-hmm. Not really. She's not that old. Don't get mad at me. No, it's not. It's not Chikatinas or Malia. No, they both probably played in enough. But it's so. What's if you were describing the tournament to ladies that were thinking on the fence of playing, maybe not this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you would say, wow, this one makes it unique from all the other tournaments? And I know, to me, the fact that it's all women, you're not going to end up in a men's division is one of the greatest things about it. But what's something you would say this one is unique, and you really have to go to the women's senior masters because what?
Well, every year not every year, but almost every year we dance, and you just don't get that at any other tournament, and especially without guys. If you're just dancing with ladies, it's a lot of fun. But what would you say, Lynn?
Well, I remember the first time I was eligible. It was when you had to be 40.
Yeah.
And I had just turned 40 that year, and I was super excited that I could go because, at least here in Georgia, I can't speak for any other state, but I couldn't get a lot of playing time. And yes, I had to play men's divisions, or when we did play the women, we were the same, group of women we played all the time. For me to go to a tournament, I think at that first tournament, we had well over 100 people, 100 women playing. And to me, as a female athlete who's been playing the game since a long time, it's like going on 40 years now. It was just that. And then the fact that you are playing all weekend, this isn't just one and done like you are in some of the bigger, even national events. Sorry. So we were this round robin format it took a lot of like stamina. So there's a lot of training, as I found out afterwards, because there's a lot of racquetball playing. But to me, it was just you don't get to play that many quality upper level women without going to a national event anywhere else. So I would say give it a name.
Speaker's doing some weird things, and it seems to me like the ones that the one we hosted and the one I've heard of them, that is probably one of the greatest aspects, that you can go and play all weekend, and there are levels for just about everybody. Because a lot of the women players at the athletic club, not all of them played enough that they got to be really high level athletes. They were, C-level players, but they just had so much fun playing. So when the tournament came to our club and they got the chance to play other women that they were the same level, they were just thrilled that they could go somewhere and play those gals and play someone different than they normally play.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
That's
and
really
we've morphed over the years. So, I mean, it used to be all just open. Then we opened it to skill level, and then we dropped it down to 35. I mean, Kendra and Cindy and Terry Rogers and all the board, for 32 years, this has been able to go on, and it's one of my favorite tournaments, and I've been lucky to participate. Not quite in all of them. I know that we have, like Mildred. I think Mildred should get an award. Not only is she like one of the most dedicated of us all, but she's the one playing the most for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Cindy, I got a question for you.
Yes.
What's your most fond memory from running the event?
Running.
Or just being a part of the event. What's your most or fondest memories? Let's go with that.
Wow. Well, I remember the first ones I attended. I think my first one was Orlando, and then we'd run them in Denver and stuff. But just like working with the ladies, and they're so appreciative of everything you do for them. They're so I don't know. Maybe that first one in Colorado was my toughest one because I didn't know what I was doing, and that was really fun working with Marcia Richards and Lori Inskeep and some people. But this one's really nice because working with Lynn, she's doing everything for me, the food, which is my least favorite part of the tournament. And she got the trophies organized too, plus massage therapists, and we got a pro shop and a stringer and all that good stuff too. So we are excited to come. So I just think
the hospitality, though, by far, it's kind of ruined me though, because I go to other tournaments and I expect a Tara Barrero Hope tournament or a WSMRA tournament, and that's kind of my bar. And so that goes, it's kind of disappointing anywhere else. I will say that there are a few handfuls where I'm not going to give a shout out right now, but the hospitality is bar none. The best part.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we actually have a winner in our contest.
Yay.
Cheryl Kirk guessed the correct answer.
Way to go, Cheryl.
Go, Cheryl.
Yep.
Yeah, nice job. Good answer. When I heard the name, I went, well, absolutely. So congratulations, Cheryl. I think you're going to get a hat. Fantastic. Good job. Well, I think the hospitality and the ladies I've talked to that have come back from your tournaments are all just over the top about that. So unique. And I hear comments like, I never would have expected that. That's different than any tournament I've ever been to. Those type of things that I hope that the audience, USA Racquetball players that aren't part of USA Racquetball will take advantage of this unique tournament that they can get into, and it will help motivate them to keep playing. I know a lot of gals that played didn't really stick with playing because they didn't have a place to go compete. They couldn't go play tournaments where they wouldn't end up in a men's division, or they'd have 3 people in their division, and it just wasn't that exciting for them. Where you guys offer something completely unique, and I hope those women that are competing, the athletes out there, regardless of what level you are, practice, compete, and then go to the Women's Senior Masters and have a great time, because it's racquetball and social. So that's fantastic. All right. Well, anybody want to thank, any sponsors, anything you want to thank before we let you guys go?
Fran at Head Pen is our main sponsor, and Jason at Recreation ATL has given us a great deal. Our DJ Luis George is really giving us a great deal too. I can't wait to hear his tunes.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna prep him up, but it's pretty good.
Maurice, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to go there.
You sorry? I'm sorry.
Bring back a report.
I'm sorry.
And you had a partner that you guys could have been really good.
Could have been afraid with either one of them. Like, I'm mad. Like, I don't understand. I gotta stay composed because it's video. When we leave, breakdown. Like, I'm upset. Y'all don't understand. Because we spoke about it before with Amy was here about the Hope tournament, right? And if it's the same as that, I've never been to one. If it's the same as that, it really is, like Lynn said, it's a fantastic event. Like Miss Cindy's saying, it's a fantastic event, and it's not. A lot of times you'll say, "Oh, this tournament's great." No, like this is actually a fun event, and just hearing what you all have planned for it. I'm not looking to switch genders, but if I did, right, it would be an event that I wouldn't mind playing in, right?
Well, we hope to have it when your little girl's, up and coming. But I hope I'm alive still to see it.
Let's see.
She'll have to be 35, though. That's a long way away.
9 days. So we got 34 years to go.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be in my 90s. That might be the last and only female player that makes it to the 90s division. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I can't wait for everybody to meet her. I can't just hold off on.
We'll miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss y'all. I will try to. Is there any streaming or anything, or is it just people on my Facebook?
I'll do streaming on my National Masters Racquetball Facebook page. Just so if you like that page already, you'll get notifications.
Sweet. I'll try to keep up with as much as I can.
Yeah.
The only thing we don't do that we normally do at the Hope is there's not as much dressing up. So I know that's really your highlight. And I have not shared some of the.
Thank you. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you, Lord.
You owe me. You owe me.
Okay, Lynn, I'll reach out to you. And
no,
you can't send me some pictures.
What are we doing?
I might be able to make a little side money. You never know.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lynn, Cindy, we appreciate you so much for coming on and telling us about your event. I really hope that the female athletes catch on to this and realize just what a wonderful event you guys put on. So fantastic. We really appreciate it. And best of luck, both on competing and also running the tournament.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, right. I'll see you. Good luck.
Good night.
Man.
That just the timing on that just doesn't work out for you, does it? That's too bad.
Well, hey, Mike, since I can't make it, so you want to come to Atlanta and play in it?
I would love to. Atlanta's a long ways for me to go. I'm not sure that I can make that work in my schedule right now.
It's only 10 plus hours. That's nothing.
Hey, I don't mind the drive. Actually, would enjoy the drive.
Yeah.
All right. Since we're pushing 55 minutes, let's wrap this last segment up kind of quick, okay? If Stuart will pop up, we're going to do a quick USA Racquetball update. I want to update everybody that's watching, kind of where memberships happened, what's happened with USA Racquetball memberships since the start of COVID till the 1st of January. So Stuart, pop that graphic up.
Yeah. Okay.
This is membership in USA Racquetball from the start of March 2019 was about 9,000 members. The lowest point was April of 2021. We had 3,600 members. Really a huge drop off. And since the majority of the USA Racquetball's funding comes from membership, you can see where the challenges have come in. It's come back to where the 1st of January we were at about 5,000. So we're about 60% of where we need to be. So that gives you kind of an idea or a glimpse of a visual of what membership's like. So we appreciate everybody that's renewed their membership. Trust me, it goes a long ways to helping us keep racquetball active and alive and going. There's an enormous amount of work done that people don't see behind the scenes. So we try and inform you on as much of it as we can, but a lot of it, until it really develops into something, it's more of a waste of time to talk about. But that kind of gives you a glimpse of where that's going and where it's at, and the fact that the trend is going back up, not nearly as fast as we'd like it to. And my guess is with the current surge in COVID, I expect to see that flatten out for a month or two. turn this around quick, fantastic. We need to get those numbers back up. We need more people playing racquetball and more people supporting USA Racquetball. It helps us grow the sport across. So the other part is the 2022 budget was approved by USA Racquetball's board of directors this last meeting. Maurice, you're on the board. You know, it was a tough discussion, tough budget. With the membership numbers where they are. We've had to make a lot of pretty substantial cuts to what we're operating, and it's kind of it's tough because when we make cuts on things that we're trying to do, it looks like we're doing less. Well, members don't like that, and then they don't want to renew their membership because nothing's happening. It kind of compounds itself. So we really want to reach out to everybody to please renew your membership. Help us out, help the clubs out. We've got some great programs we're working on that are working directly with club owners, other organizations that, like I said, the 20 by 40 organization, those type of things. We've got a lot of work we're working on to try and get things turned around, but it's tougher. It's tough. We're in a real spot. COVID's not helping us out at all. One of the bright spots about it, though, that I really am excited about is the athlete development program that we started up. The terrific donor that helped seed that and put the money into it. We've paid out over $11,000 since that started just a couple months ago. And that money's gone directly to both U.S. team members that are competing at Tier 1 events, whether they're IRT, LPRT, both of them. They're competing, and this program helps cover some of their expenses. But it's also for athletes that are not on the team but want to be. If you're competing at a team and you're ranked 15 or above, and you're competing in a Tier 1 event, and you're a U.S. citizen, USA Racquetball member, then be sure and point that out to us if we happen to miss it, because that program is helping to develop and helping those individuals get to the competition. That's the best competition we have, to develop them into the next round of U.S. team members. Malia, great post. Congratulations, Team USA, for winning the World Championship, gold medal. And we have to keep working on those. We've got to grow that and make sure that we have players coming up through the pipeline to make that go. So it's tough. We've got to develop those players. And if this athlete development program can help those players get to competitions that are, Tier 1, LPRT, IRT events, that's what we want to do. They need to be competing against the best if you're going to be the best. And if we're going to win more gold medals, we have to be the best. So it's fantastic. Love the hard work that all these athletes are putting in. It's really amazing. And I know, Maurice, you're on that list of those athletes that are busting your butt to
try and
make
get
that
on it,
team and get on there and make that travel. It's nothing I'd love more than see you wearing that jacket with a gold medal around it.
I appreciate it. I'll get there. I appreciate it.
And hopefully this program helps a little bit. We want to get those folks going. Coach Durham, completely agreed. Team USA, number one. First time in a long time. So we appreciate all that. Appreciate everybody's work, especially the work of the athletes and the training they put in. It's just it takes a lot of work, doesn't it? So the last part I'm going to mention is the new ranking system. There's been a lot of questions about it. I want to really thank Todd Boss. He's done a fantastic job helping and putting together the FAQs, the frequently asked questions section. Pretty much every question that he's come across, he's typed it up, put it on that. We posted it on the website. So go to the website. There's where the new ranking is. Look up the FAQs. It answers almost all the questions we can come up with. But I really appreciate all the hard work that Todd's put in on that. He's done a great job answering questions on social media and then putting it into this document so that we can post it online. We want to be able to have that online so that we can answer everybody's questions about what this new ranking system is. One of the questions that I'm going to give you an update on is what happened to the search function, which I completely understand. That I've didn't realize that wasn't coming into play. We've already got that in the works. That's going to be coming out in the next few days, week or so. I don't want to put a direct timeline on it, but very soon you'll have that search function back in the ranking system. Okay. One of the other questions, just real quick, one of the other questions I've gotten a lot was, why is so-and-so not showing up? Why is X player not on the list when he's one of the top players? 99.9% of the time, it's because they are no longer a member of USA Racquetball. Their membership is probably expired. Call them up. Say, hey, get your membership up to date. We want to see you on the list. And as soon as they do, it pops right back up. They don't lose their ranking. It just doesn't show anymore. The USA ranking is for USA Racquetball members. So, all right. Maurice, any thoughts? What do you think about the information or any of the other topics we've talked about tonight?
I think it was a vast amount of topics. I can't wait for the update on doubles.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see the new rankings for sure, because that obviously affects me tremendously. Yeah. Membership, obviously, I hope everybody signs up for USA membership. One, that means we grow players and grow racquetball, and then USA Racquetball can then use the money to help fund more programs that would help extend racquetball and affect a player too. Yeah. And I cannot wait for the women's seniors and masters. Lord knows, I wish I was here. But I'm gonna try to watch the master stream. I know Jason's got streaming there, but I don't know if he will. And I've got some friends that are gonna go down and support anyway, and so I'm gonna ask them to see if they can stream some matches so I can watch it while I'm at Wintergreen.
So the next show, you can kind of update us on what was going on there, even though you aren't going to be there.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Absolutely.
Yeah, Maurice, I got to tell you, I had a phone call this morning, bright and early this morning. It was an early meeting for me, but a gentleman called and wanted help. He is helping. He's putting together a proposal to build new courts, indoor courts, and wanted to know how we could help him put together this proposal. And I spent about an hour with this gentleman, helping him find resources and information, and gave him several names and phone numbers who to call. But it really got me thinking that, there are a lot of clubs that have been taking courts out. COVID's been just horrible for racquetball in a lot of ways. And taking out courts is one of the most detrimental things that can happen to our sport. But I love hearing from people that are looking at building more courts, new courts, indoor courts, outdoor courts, doesn't matter. Indoor, outdoor, I don't care. Build them. We need more courts. But it was really, this gentleman had just a passion that it's difficult to hear. You just don't find a lot of. But he was so passionate about this that in this project that his community is putting together, this rec center type thing, that he is. I'd hate to be on the other side of him asking this question, because he is going to make this happen one way or another. Yeah. And if they even hint that they might not, I think this gentleman's going to just convince them they need to.
Good. We need that type of energy.
Exactly.
I hope, as long as he stays focused and the message is correct, heck yeah, man, let's do it. Yeah. That's the type of people that'll help grow it. Not a naysayer or a let's do. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Come with me, and then reaching out for help.
Right.
That's what shows more in it too. Is like, hey, can you help me out in this project? Can you help whatever it is? I'm always gonna be a proponent for that. And so I can't wait to see what he does with it.
One of our greatest roles as USA Racquetball is how do we help those that are actually looking to do it. So. It was a fun conversation. I really enjoyed it. I loved the gentleman's passion, and I believe he's going to get some courts built. And we talked about the number of courts, what kind of programming, how do they structure it, all these type of things. So I expect to see some success in it.
Nice, sweet. Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
Yep. All right. I know we're way over. We're an hour. Our 30-minute show has become an hour show.
You're way over.
But we got a lot of really good.
You're way over.
A lot of fun. So we want to invite everybody, mark your calendar, Game 35 of the Real Racquetball Show, Monday, January 24th. We will be naming a Real Racquetball champion.
Yeah.
And as normal with that award and recognition, it's always somebody that you want to meet. Learn something from them, something they're doing that's going to help grow racquetball in your community. please share the feed for this.
Mhm.
It'll post up as a link. Share it out. A lot of great information. We love talking to Cindy. It was just so much fun. They're both just passionate about the game, and it's just neat listening to Lynn. You can just tell she's passionate about it and has been for a long time. So
Yeah.
Appreciate you two both coming on the show, telling us about this. So until next time, good luck in your travel.
Thank you.
Good luck winning. And the biggest
Please
thing
get
of
on the
all is
court.
just have a good time.
Hashtag get Mike Wedel on a racquetball court.
Are you
I ain't
playing with
forgot.
Troy in this tournament coming up?
Huh?
Are you playing with Troy when this tournament coming up? You're going to Maryland? Or
I'm
you
just
Troy playing?
doing singles and then doubles with Troy,
Okay, cool. Well,
and then we're gonna play here.
tell Troy hi
Yeah.
for me.
I will, absolutely. Tell Debbie I said hello.
I will do. So everybody, have a great time.
Night, everybody.
We will talk to you soon. Get them on a court and be sure and reserve those courts when you get on them. All
Mhm.
right. Thank you all. Have a great
Everybody.
time. Have a great night.
Bye.